Have you heard of Nod? It's an app that helps combat the negative impact of loneliness on college students' mental health. Did you know that loneliness is a significant factor contributing to student attrition, poor mental health, and substance abuse on college campuses? We believe with the right support, loneliness can be prevented. Nod empowers students to build authentic, social connections as part of a successful college experience. Nod addresses the psychological underpinnings of loneliness using skill-building challenges and personal reflection exercises to break down social goals into achievable steps. Thanks to funding from the Counseling and Psychological Services Mental Health Partnership Grant, this resource will be available for free for all Cal Maritime cadets. Check out www.csum.edu/resiliency for more info how to get the app. Hi, this is Angela Acosta, the health educator at Cal Maritime, your host for another Resiliency Project podcast. Our mission is to foster resiliency and connection on campus. We also hope to offer health and wellness tips to help you navigate through this academic year. Our next guest is Val Cockerell, a graduating senior GSMA student. I had a chance to talk to Val, and he is the most upbeat, friendly guy, not to mention a real sweetheart. Like other students who are trying to adapt by not being on campus, he takes the time to share how he is making the most of it. He takes time to chat with our peer health educators Angelica Matos and Matt Veningas, who are also taking classes virtually. He shares how he keeps healthy and his experience being at home. Here's Val, Angelica, Matt, with Ryan Rodriguez, who is facilitating the interview.
All right. How are you guys doing? How you doing, Val? It's good to see you again.
I'm doing well. Thank you, Matt. How are you?
I'm doing all right. Right now I'm actually working a different little job, working setting up voting booths over in Pico Rivera, an area where I kind of live in. So I figured I'd try to walk around and have a moving background, you know? Anyways, well, we invited you here today, Val, and yourself too, Ryan, because we wanted to ask you guys, just certain questions, certain topics on, the current situation, on how we've recently been given some news by the school that we're going to be continuing another semester online again. And, unfortunately, I can't necessarily speak on behalf of that because we're going to be graduating this December. So I just wanted to get a feel for your guys' perspectives on it, your guys' opinions, because both of you guys live off campus currently, and I kind of just want to see how that's going to affect you in a way.
So AJ, you want to go first, or should I go on ahead?
You go ahead.
All right. Well, I'll be honest with you, Matt. It was a bit of mixed feelings when I found out that A, we're online in the fall, but B, we're also online in the spring. Because there was a part of me that was really hoping in the spring we'd get to go back. Personally, I can't speak for everyone. I know a lot of people who like being home, but I just really missed seeing people in person, whether it be in the classroom or in the dorms, on and off campus, because, it's college. We're only going to live through college once in our lives. So I felt that my senior year would always be something where we'd get to do things that we never thought we'd get to do. In the first years of Maritime, like finishing it off, doing it big. But being at home, it's not so bad because I get to see my mom, my family, who I don't usually see in Cal Maritime. So it's not too bad. I find myself watching a lot more TV shows. I'm working out at home, studying every day, but it can be a little hard to concentrate. So I would say it's definitely mixed feelings.
Okay.
That certainly sounds like it works for, don't mind me, AJ. I'm sorry about that.
Okay, I guess I'll go. So for me, I was really sad when we found out that for the fall that we would be online because I have a house in Vallejo. So it was very hectic. I wasn't sure if I should move back to Vallejo or if I should stay home with my parents. But I've taken advantage of it being online. So I recently moved to Mexico and I'm here to do online classes and to work online as well through like Peer Health and EOP. And I'm here to learn Spanish. Like I'm not a fluent speaker, but I'm not a beginner. So I just need to practice and go out there. I like it here too because I get to like see new things, I get to travel. So there are advantages to being online. I was kind of bummed when we found out that spring will be online because I just wanted the last semester to be on campus, especially since I play water polo. I was kind of hoping, okay, like one more season, it'll be fun. I get to see everyone one last time because it's kind of sad that we won't get to say bye to everyone because we've all like gone every class with the same people. So I just wanted to see them one last time and graduate with the same people who I started off with. But doesn't look like it's gonna happen. But oh well, it is what it is. You know, it's not just us going through it; it's everyone else in the world too.
Definitely.
I like that mindset, AJ.
Um, since you guys are all seniors, do you know if they're going to try and do an in-person graduation still? That maybe you would be able to get back together with your friends.
I've heard rumors about that. Yeah, actually, Ryan. I hope that's the case because then at least at the very end, whether we see each other for a few weeks or for one day, I'll take it. You know, we get to see everybody at graduation. I have heard that it might be split between MPM, just being MPM for graduation, and then the rest of the cadets, engine, deck, any non-MPM will do their graduation.
I've heard differently. I've heard like that there's 5 different possibilities. The online, and then there would be everyone at graduation with no guests, and then everyone at graduation with one guest, and then a normal graduation, which is most likely not going to happen. So like, or 4, yeah, 4 options. That's what I've heard.
Oh, well, I mean, they do say historically, apparently, like a pandemic is going to last approximately 18 months. You know, that doesn't, it lasted around the same time like that, 100 years ago and previous, pandemics and illnesses in the past. I can't speak on, the validity of that, but if it's a marker that can, provide a sort of, I guess, a milestone or a point in time where you can kind of look forward to, or at least strive to wait to see for, if it gives any forms of hope, then it's some kind of thing that can at least give a grasp, can give a tangible understanding of what's going on right now, and to kind of understand that it's not forever, and it is unfortunate that it really does break my heart that we can't be together and see each other one last time, but thank goodness for tools like Zoom and being able to talk to each other, that we can still facilitate a conversation and be able to share it with other people,
Yeah, 100%. I feel like that's a big part of how I enjoy home is I get to Zoom a lot of friends, whether it's in class or study groups outside of class. And I feel like I'm fortunate that I live in California because most of my friends from Maritime live in California. So I've had friends from NorCal drive down to SoCal and I've seen them. And I think it's a great experience. There's still ways we can see each other. It's just not the same as before. So at least there's that,
Now, Val, I do have one real quick question for you specifically.
Oh, for sure.
As you've already, I feel like a lot of kids on campus would know, you're sort of famous in the sense that you have this very cheery disposition, all while having while being exceptionally physically fit. So I was wondering, how have you been able to balance that physical health, that mental health, while being away from campus, that I feel like a lot of kids may or may not be struggling with, because at school you'd have the gym, you'd be able to walk around a mile to classes and everything.
Right.
But being resided to your home, that poses some certain challenges, especially if you live in the inner city.
Well, Matt, I'll be honest with you. When quarantine first hit, I was kind of in a slump. not that I stopped working out. I didn't stop my training, but I was stuck on where to go because I was used to going to the PIAC and just working out, lifting weights, doing some calisthenics here and there. But when I came home in March, I thought, well, I want to continue improving on my, what I do, working out, whether it's calisthenics or lifting weights. And I don't have a home gym that was available because COVID closed it. So what I did is I actually went on Amazon and I bought these gymnastic rings, and they're about $30-$40 on average. And I say they're a really good investment because when you hang them up and strap them, you can do what you used to do. You can do dips, you can do pull-ups, ring muscle ups. You can do something called skin the cats. It's really great. So actually, I have them right here. I'll be right back. But
Gotta love some show and tell for sure.
That's why I love Val so much. He always surprises me. There's never a dull day without this guy.
So these are gymnast strings right here. And then you just hook them up to anything like a tree or any pole that you can access. And then you get to do dips, you get to do ring muscle ups. If you want, just feel free to reach out to me and I'll give you a tutorial on it. It's really neat. I have some dumbbells at home. For cardio, I do MMA. So it looks a little weird. It's not the coolest thing, but when I'm by myself, I shadow box. So I just punch and kick the air. And it really does the trick on keeping off the pounds and keeping the lean mass going.
That's crazy. I did something similar, a little bit similar. Ended up buying a couple of. I was able to buy just a pair of some dumbbells, 2 20-pounders and 2 30-pound dumbbells. So I need to share this link to the webpage on our social media page, but it's essentially called Derivi. And in case for people that don't really know what that is, it's this free anthology of calisthenic workouts, body weight workouts, dumbbell workouts to give full body, exercises. It helps keep you, challenging your muscles, keeping you staying, physically active while being in a relatively confined space. I like to call it my prison workouts to some comical degree, but it really does help, and I really do think it does show to some level.
Excellent. I'm glad I'm not the only person who's called it a prison workout before, because one of the first things I thought when quarantine started, I thought of Bane from Batman, how he always did his workouts in prison, and he used that time where he was in prison to improve. Because we're at home right now, we can't do much. But I know he's a bad guy, but Bane, he was a good person in self-improvement. He taught himself languages. He studied. He did calisthenics, handstand push-ups, sit-ups every day, and he built muscles. He ate well. He took care of himself. So yeah, he's a bad guy, but I mean, he knew how to live when he really had to in prison. And then when people tried to shank him, well, he was strong. So I think it's a good thing. When you're in quarantine self-improvement, we have all this free time. We're not going to watch or formation. Think about all of those hours that you can be using to improve. Or I mean, even if you're not like grinding or anything, I still watch anime. I still do the things I like to do. So.
Title of the episode today: Things we can learn from Bane.
May I ask you a question, Ryan? If there's any, what sort of ways have you been keeping yourself active, keeping your mind active? I mean, I'm sure you're pretty laden down with a lot of work and a lot of, new responsibilities that, may previously not have been so present or prevalent. But, what have you been doing? You look really good.
Well, thank you very much. I'm always down to get a compliment. No, actually, I started walking or running every day before work. So like right when the, I guess shutdown happened, we started working from home. I started getting up and going about 2 miles every morning. And then I was living back at my parents' house for a little bit actually. So they had their garage. So we had some bands, some dumbbells. And so work out 3-4 days a week using that stuff. And then I just moved into an apartment in Hayward. And so I've been doing more running now in the morning, and then incorporating some yoga as well, about 3 days a week. So kind of like Val, just like trying to figure out some new ways, and with just a little bit of equipment or no equipment, and just try and stay active. Because I used to go to a gym 4 days a week, and it's like I definitely miss having like 40-pound dumbbells, 50-pound dumbbells, or being able to like push some weight around. But unfortunately, that does not look like it's happening anytime soon. So had to just get creative. I'm not a runner, and I was just like, I got to do it. I got to get out and stay active. I'll even go for walks like during the day, like even just like quick, like 3/4 of a mile walk, like get out of the apartment, get moving. Because it can be, I'm sure all you guys can attest. It's hard to stare at a computer screen for a long time and time after time after time. So just letting the eyes rest, getting some real sunlight and everything.
And what about you, AJ?
Before all this happened, I had water polo. So I was there every day. And then I went home, and luckily, so my mom's boyfriend owns a gym. So I just have a free membership, and that was going pretty well until they shut it down. And then when they shut it down, I kind of got lazy, and then they reopened it, and I haven't gone. Well, now I'm in Mexico, but since I'm in Mexico, I normally walk between 1 and 5 miles. It just depends on how far I have to go, because it's kind of hard to get like taxis over here because everything's up and down and all curved. So I just walk a lot over here. And there's like a lot of incline to get to my house. So I'm like out of breath, but it's a good workout. I feel it. Like the first day I got here, I was like sore. My legs were sore from walking. So I'm getting better, but I'm pretty lazy.
Pretty lazy too. I miss the gym. I really do, honestly. I feel like just the sheer volume of work that you put in the gym, it's not to say that it doesn't compare, but you just need to challenge yourself in different ways, like instead of maybe pushing for the heaviest weights, if you don't have the heaviest weights around, then I suppose to some way you supplement that with more reps or more repetition. But I suppose it really does depend on the person in some way. I feel like, Val, you're a little bit more educated on that than I am. I remember you used to school me a lot on the gym when we were there. I would always be very impressed to see that you use very little weights, but you still kept it, you were able to focus on those muscles and allow them to, grow in and of themselves, and the results speak for themselves.
Matthew, I feel like you hit it right on the nail though. If you don't have heavy weights, just go with more reps or find some sort of progression. So you can keep on going with what we call progressive overload. So say 1 month you have a personal best of probably 25 push-ups in a row. And then, work it up at home. You're not adding any extra weight on your bench or anything, but you could work up to 50 or even 100 push-ups in a row. And then if you're doing normal push-ups, who's to say you can't do pike push-ups? They're the intermediate go between before you start doing handstand push-ups. So you could find an elevated surface like your bench or bed, put your legs on them, and then start doing a push-up. It's really hard to explain on Zoom, but if you look it up, just search up pike push-up, you'll find what I'm talking about. And then one day you'll be able to work on your handstand push-ups, maybe even do one-hand handstand push-ups. You do a lot of nutty stuff when you just keep at it every day.
I'd say another good thing to do is so like let's say you're doing a push-up, just like going down, instead of just dropping down, you go like a 3 count or a 5 count. So maybe you're not even adding extra reps, but you're just like holding the workout a little bit, or each rep a little bit longer. So you're getting resistance from that way as well.
Wow. It's the more you know, right? I didn't even know any about that. I figured I'd stick to like one regime where it was like, they require you to do some, 12 reps to, holding onto the dumbbells, parallel from each other like that, and just kind of, pushing in that motion. But, what I didn't really realize was how the fact that your muscles begin to anticipate like the exercise that you do. And if you keep on doing the same regime, like over the course of months, then your muscles are like, this is nothing. I already know what you got planned for me. Like, I know that's not the professional way of saying it, but in a way you start to see less results. You start to see less, your muscles begin to get, it's almost like you feel your muscles not feeling as sore as they were initially. And some might even chalk that up to, oh, well, my muscles are just stronger like that. Well, in a way, but your muscles are kind of like prepared for what you're doing, so it doesn't give you the same results.
I got a question for all you guys since you're all seniors. And I know everyone's has like their senior projects and stuff, and you're all working on those right now this semester. How have you guys been able to kind of stay motivated and stay focused with such big projects by yourself? We're going to AJ first because I see her shaking her head. And yeah, I imagine it's tough. I've been curious in talking with other seniors too, of like how you guys handle that.
Honestly, really bad, like super bad. There's just a lot of different distractions. Like I remember I would show up to class and I'd have Matt and Val like, oh, how far have you gotten? And I'd kind of pace myself off them, or like they'll remind me. And now I'm home and I'm surrounded by like one of my best friends. She lives with me at my mom's house. So when I was there, she distracted me like, oh, are you done? Or she'll see me trying to write an essay. She'll turn on the TV. I'm like, wow, that's very inconsiderate. So I kind of realized that I've gotten more lazy and I don't really have motivation as much. So I'm kind of hoping, since I'm by myself here now in Mexico, I can motivate myself to do it. So like obviously on the weekends, it's really active out here. So I'm trying to get all my stuff done during the week, so I have the weekends completely free. So that's my motivation now, when before I really was all over the place.
Oh, sorry. I was just lost in thought about how we used to remind each other all the time.
Right.
Because yeah, AJ, yeah, I remember every day when we go to class, we check up on each other. Now it's difficult because we don't know what everyone's doing when you're on the phone. Sometimes people are busy with their own personal lives. So I try not to spam people by calling them or texting them all the time. But I remember how we used to check in with each other. It's a good sense of accountability. Now that we're online, in order to stay focused, if I can't really focus on an assignment, I usually give myself an hour break. And in that hour break, I'm just doing a workout, or I'm just doing some pleasure reading. I turn on the TV a little bit so I don't crack mentally. And then after that hour is up, I make sure to set an alarm and I say, okay, I need to get down with this senior thesis. I need to finish this project that I have due on Sunday night. And I just buckle down and do it. And I even make group chats with my friends. So I guess we can still kind of keep in touch about, touch bases on how far we are. Because, if you have someone with you to check up on you, it really motivates you to keep going. It makes you know that you're not alone. But I agree with AJ. It's been very difficult. There have been some days where I haven't been as on top of things as I wanted to be. But I just compensate the next day and I just say, hey, the sooner I finish this, the sooner I get to do whatever it is I want to do that's not this. I guess that's the best way I can say it.
Wow. One of the biggest things that came to my mind when you guys were describing that was just the innate sense of community that, we were able to form, just by, whether we liked it or not, going to class, by routine, those single days. I'd always remember, I think one of the most memorable moments that I have was, waking up in the morning and, maybe not cleaning up, maybe not like folding my bed, being a little lazy in that sense, but walking down steps, maybe getting something to eat, but all the while always running into somebody, and like in that split second interaction, you feel like, hey, I remember you, you're here in the same situation that I am, where we may not, maybe you might be in a different major, but you're in the maritime situation, you're in that the maritime, you're in school with me, you're my classmate, I know you, you know me, like just that to some it might be like a minor thing, but that encouragement, that interaction, that community, it helped me get up out of the bed in the morning and knowing that, hey, I get to see some of my friends and I get to say hi to them and I get to see how they're doing, and that is a very nice thing. So I think just by judging from this, checking up on each other every once in a while, it goes a long way, honestly. I mean, I try to do it with AJ. She's my coworker. We like to collaborate a lot on assignments and projects, but that doesn't mean I should do it exclusively to her. I mean, I do it with Joy a little bit. I certainly want to start doing it with you, Val. Like, it's almost like I've lost my way in a sense like that.
You know, I bet it's a trip for all you guys to just be, now it's just separating, it's all on your own, without your friend. I mean, that was a great story, AJ, about just like how the natural checkups with each other going to class. So yeah, it's hard, but I guess that's what resiliency is all about, is finding a way through. With that, we're about at the end. Anybody else, anyone want some closing thoughts, words of wisdom, something fun you're doing right now or anything?
Nothing in particular, but this has been a very fun experience. I look forward to Zooming more people if this happens again, you know? It feels good to touch base with my friends and you, Ryan. So if there's more events like this, I guess I'll look forward to that. But in terms of interesting things, yeah, not really anything. I'm just enjoying life, you know, just vibing at home.
I feel like AJ has the most interesting things to say, but she's being stoic about it.
I don't have anything interesting to say. Just trying to make the best out of it. I miss all my friends. I miss campus. I miss being able to relate to people in my major, especially since we all go to maritime. Because when I try to explain maritime to other people, they're just like lost. So like Cal Maritime was my family and they really understood me. So I just miss that. That's my closing.
I guess to have some minor closing thought. You know, I got this unique little job set up right now. I'm walking back to work as we speak from our little project. I'm setting up voting booths out in LA County under this place called Voting Solutions for All People. And, you know, with how hot, you know, everything is, with the political environment and all that, I don't want to get too much into that, but, you know, it feels fulfilling in a way. You know, if you find a job that you know is serving like some cause or is helping, you know, the greater good, getting some sort of feeling, and it is at the personal risk of your health and safety, which I don't necessarily recommend for everybody because, you know, everybody's situation is different and all that. But if you feel like you want to take the risk, you know, it's certainly character building in a way. It's certainly a nice opportunity to get out of the house, experience new things, heck, maybe even meet new people. And it's, you know, to be setting up voting booths is, you know, how many people can say that in a way, you know? And to see and know that it's like to understand the process of it and realize that, you know, I used to think that all this stuff was rigged. I used to have a general level of skepticism, but to see how the process actually goes, it kind of helps add a little extra level of understanding. So, you know, if you ever feel like you want to be a little bit more productive in that sense, make a little bit of extra money, trying to find a job, it really does help. It really does go a long way. So that's my closing thought.
I guess I'll close and say it was great to connect with you guys and talk and you know, see how you guys are doing. Matt, I think that was great. It's like skepticism is good, but we can't be too skeptical. So, you know, but yeah, I mean, doing stuff for other people, it does, you know, it does feel good, but it also feels good for ourselves, and we got to get satisfaction as well to keep going. So yeah, with that, I'm going to hit stop on the record.
I want to mention that Val Cockerell is the president of the Anime Club. Their club gives members an opportunity to enjoy anime, manga, games, and other related activities through available resources and online means of communication. Meetings usually take place in the form of a book club approach, but online streaming and video games like Super Smash Bros. Or League of Legends will be available in later ones. There is currently not a set meeting time. If you are interested in joining the Anime Club or just want to connect with Val, you can contact him at vcockerell1267@csum.edu. Till then, be well, stay safe, stay healthy.